Okay, so now we're ready to cut. We just need to make sure we've got the right parameters set on the control panel. I was asked what are the main settings. I believe there's 6 main settings that we need to change each time we put on different thickness steel. These being, the first one is tip size. Obviously the smaller the tip for the smaller the plate. The plasma amps, the arc voltage, which is set here, the piercing delay, which is set here also, and the initial height setting, which is set here too, and the cutting speed. I'll just quickly go through those now and show you how to set those. So from when I first brought the machine, I've started to compile a list of all the settings. We only cut mild steel GR300 plate, but if you call Proline, they can give you a copy of this. It's a good starting point. It's not totally accurate for everyone, but it's a great starting point, and we've got that information available for everyone. But the first thing is tip size. So you select the right tip for the steel that you're cutting. Obviously for this machine there's 3 different size tips, though Tim's just found me a 4th one. So we have a 65, an 85 and a 105. Roughly the tip size is how many amps you would run as a good rule of thumb. So we're cutting 3mm today, so we're going to run the 65 amp tip. So that's the first thing to do, is change the tip out. I've already got that in there. The next thing is the amps, so we're going to run 60 amps. That's down on the plasma cutter. Airflow is critical. I run the same for everything, so I run 8.5 MPa out of a rotovane compressor, which has great pressure and great volume, so there's no hold-ups there. Arc voltage is set on the control panel here. So for our 3mm we're going to run 185, and you see by twisting this dial it changes the arc voltage. When the machine is running, it'll have another voltage setting below here, which is the actual volts, and with the auto height control clicked in, you'll see these numbers match up as the machine pulls the two together. Next one is the initial height setting. So if you look at the torch, if we position it onto the sheet and we push IHS, the torch will go down and come back up. So the initial height setting is how far it comes off the sheet. So for 3mm here we've got that set at 0.12. So you change it here on this dial, 0.12. The next one is piercing delay. So this is the time that it takes for the torch to start moving after it's pierced. So for example, on a 3mm it won't take long to pierce through that, so we've got 0.59 of a second before this torch starts moving. Obviously for thicker plate you need a longer pierce time. So there are our 6 main settings that we need to change each time we change a piece of plate. Probably the only other critical one is distance to lock the torch height control. So that's how far the torch moves before it locks it into the auto height control. This will help you get past any slag, so the torch will ride a little bit higher, it gets past the slag from piercing, and then the auto height control takes over and drops it down onto the plate. And then the last part of the settings is the cutting speed. And to my experience I've learnt that you can actually run it a lot faster than I ever thought we would be able to. The machine is limited to 3000 when you get it out of the box. There's an override setting in there to bump that up. We've got now maximum speed of 7000 millimeters per minute, or 7 meters per minute. So for the 3mm I'm cutting that at 3600 millimeters per minute. It could probably go faster than that if you really wanted to, but obviously the cleanness of the cut is relative to the speed. So 3600 is the cut speed. If you change that, then generally you would have to change your amps as well. So if you were going to go faster, then you want to crank your amps up a little bit more. To set your cut speed, it's the X button on here. Click X and then you dial in there what you'd like. So we're going to go 3600 decimal place 00. Enter.